that was initiated by Iran in 2018. We had the second meeting there as well. We are grateful to Iran for that. It's a privilege for India to host the dialogue today with participation of all the Central Asian countries and Russia, who was the initiator of the idea. We are meeting today to discuss matters relating to Afghanistan. We all have been keenly watching the developments in that country. These have important implications not only for the people of Afghanistan, but also for its neighbors and the region. This is the time for close consultations amongst us, greater cooperation and interaction and coordination among the regional countries. I am confident that our deliberations will be productive, useful, and will contribute to help the people of Afghanistan and enhance our collective security. I will now request you all to make your opening remarks. May I invite the Secretary of the Supreme National Security Council of Iran, His Excellency Rear Admiral Ali Shamkhani, to deliver his opening remarks. Thank you.
متشکرم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. عالی جناب همکار گرامی آقای دوال، تشکر میکنم از اینکه میزبانی اجلاس سوم رو به عهده گرفتید و از میزبانی مناسبتون.
Organizing this meeting very well. I fully appreciate that on my own turn. I would also like to thank and appreciate the presence of the other delegations and members of the delegates. Both the people who are already attending the meeting and both the others who have been invited but couldn't make it. We are really hopeful to, through the exchange of opinions and ideas we have, would be able to achieve what has been the objectives and aims of these objectives, what actually has been the objectives of founders of this forum. As you also pointed out, after the first meeting and second meetings which were held in Tehran, this idea would take part. I would like to, on this reason, I would like to thank and appreciate the role that India has played, as they have a great role in Afghanistan. I think today we would be able to discuss the issue from multilateral dimensions, the issues which have already destroyed Afghanistan. The difficulties which have been brought about within the past 20 years. Today, Afghanistan is involved in terrorism, poverty and misery, unfortunately. Basically, in Afghanistan, you have just crisis, the crisis of migration and refugees. And the solution comes only through the formation of the participation of all ethnic groups, and therefore we hope we would be able to determine who would be the fourth, where and who would host the fourth round, and also we would be able to come up with ideas with what mechanism we can resolve the issues in Afghanistan. I'm very much proud and happy to be able, the fact that the meetings in Tehran have been continued, the fact that we are able to consult each other in order to resolve the crisis in our region. Thank you very much.
There you go, the high-level security dialogue. The regional security dialogue is currently underway in New Delhi. Remember, India is hosting the regional security dialogue on Afghanistan, the security crisis in Afghanistan. A lot of important points will be discussed. Let's listen in.
It's a good opportunity to discuss important regional security issues, especially concerning Afghanistan, and to exchange our vision of the current situation in areas of mutual cooperation. The Republic of Kazakhstan monitors with high attention the threats and challenges that are coming from Afghanistan. With the Taliban movement coming to power, the situation inside the country remains complicated. There are many obstacles to form an effective government system. Terrorist organizations are intensifying their activities. We are strongly concerned with the operations of the Central Asian fighters. The social and economic situation of the Afghans is deteriorating and the country is facing the humanitarian crisis. It's necessary to increase the humanitarian assistance for Afghan people. Stabilization of Afghanistan demands the efforts of the whole international community. It is highly important to begin concrete actions. I am confident that this event will allow us to find practical steps for stabilization of the situation in Afghanistan and promote our cooperation to the new level in the interest of the security of our countries. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Karim Massimov, for your opening.
I am confident that this event will allow us to find practical steps for stabilization of the situation in Afghanistan and promote our cooperation to the new level in the interest of the security of our countries. Thank you for your attention.
Mr. Karim Massimov, for your opening remarks. And may I now request the Secretary of the Security Council of Kyrgyz Republic, His Excellency Mr. Marat Imankulov.
Спасибо, уважаемый советник.
Thank you, respected councils.
Я хочу вам выразить свою благодарность за приглашение участвовать в этом третьем диалоге. Я приветствую всех коллег, присутствующих на этом диалоге. Я понимаю, очень сложные проблемы сейчас имеются и в нашем регионе, и в целом мире. Одна из них – это деятельность международных террористических и экстремистских организаций, в том числе, как уже коллеги говорили, находящихся на территории Афганистана. И в Афганистане сейчас происходят тоже неоднозначные процессы. Я надеюсь, на этой встрече мы с коллегами обсудим наши совместные действия по борьбе с международным терроризмом и экстремизмом. И я считаю, что необходимую помощь, которую мы должны оказать афганскому народу в этой сложной ситуации. Остальные вопросы, я надеюсь, мы обсудим в узком кругу. Спасибо.
Уважаемый господин Довал, уважаемые главы делегации и участники встречи. Прежде всего, выражаю признательность индийской стороне за прекрасную организацию.
I am convinced that today's meeting will give additional impulse to the development of cooperation of our states in the Afghan dimension and will help the speediest restoration of long-lasting peace in that country. Multilateral meetings of the Secretaries of Security Councils on the Afghan issue is an important format that helps us to discuss the whole package of issues linked to the development situation in Afghanistan on the highest level. It also helps us to elaborate practical measures to counter challenges and threats emanating from the Afghan territory. We expect that the practice of holding such meetings will be continued further, including by introducing other relevant regional questions in the agenda. In general, we note the increased activity of international and regional stakeholders in the Afghan dimension and the creation of new formats. We can cite Italian initiative on calling an emergency summit of the G20 on Afghanistan, the regional mechanism of Russia, China, Pakistan and Iran, the meeting of neighboring countries of Afghanistan, as well as the meeting of the Turkic Council. All these events are surely important. We are also convinced that such dialogue mechanisms should not duplicate the work of each other, but rather complement each other. From my point of view, we presume that the Moscow format of consultations on Afghanistan retains its important potential because it lets us coordinate efforts to help Afghanistan to settle the Afghan issue, considering the new political environment in that country. I am pleased to note that on the 20th of October, all the delegations of the countries present here took part in the third meeting of the Moscow format of consultations on Afghanistan that confirmed its effectiveness due to the broad representation of stakeholders. The collective initiative enunciated by its country participants, initiative to organize an international donor conference, will help us move towards normalization of the situation in Afghanistan and, as a result, to ensure stability in the region. In Moscow, we laid a good foundation to determine the position of our countries regarding the development of the dialogue with the Taliban, as well as to practically coordinate our efforts, the efforts of all stakeholders of the region. I expect that today we will be able to make another step forward in elaborating common measures of ensuring national security and maintaining regional stability. I wish us all a productive day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Patrushev. I'm grateful to you for your observations and the suggestion that we should hold such meetings, and we should also expand their scope to include more regional and issues which are of common concern. Thank you very much for that. And I would now request the Deputy Chairman of Cabinet of Ministers of Turkmenistan on Security and Secretary of State Security Council of Turkmenistan, His Excellency Mr. Charimirat Amvov. Thank you very much, Mr. Amvov.
Уважаемый председатель, уважаемые участники диалога, прежде всего хотел бы выразить глубокую признательность правительству Индии за организацию нашего диалога, за приглашение и оказанное гостеприимство. Организация сегодняшнего мероприятия в вашем формате свидетельствует о том, что наши страны заинтересованы в становлении Афганистана в качестве политически стабильного, мирного и развивающего государства, свободного от терроризма и наркопреступности, соблюдающего фундаментальные права и свободы человека.
Liberties of humans are being worshipped and developed. Considering the political and geopolitical situation in the world and the situation regarding the regional security, and we can understand why we are concerned as we have a long border with Afghanistan, and of course the current situation creates extra risk and possibility for growth of drug trafficking, terrorism and criminality. The situation in Tajik and Afghan border remains complicated. Currently, under the influence of many negative factors of socioeconomical factors, we can say that Afghanistan might face a real humanitarian catastrophe, especially considering the upcoming winter. So we need to find a solution to provide all the necessities for the population of Afghanistan. And we should all work together and cooperate as the world leaders towards that. And we as the neighboring country are ready to participate in all programs that can help to the people of Afghanistan. Thank you so much. Express my gratitude once again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nasrullah Mahmood Zada, for your observations and your remarks. Now, I would request the Deputy Chairman of the Cabinet of Minister of Turkmenistan on Security and Secretary of State Security Council of Turkmenistan, His Excellency Mr. Charimiret Ambov.
Уважаемый господин Ajit Doval, уважаемые коллеги, от имени делегации Туркменистана хочу поблагодарить индийскую сторону и лично вас, господин Ajit Doval, за организацию данного мероприятия и благоприятные условия для плодотворной работы.
For this invitation and for this fruitful work. Regarding to the Afghanistan's situation, as you know, that recently what happened in a very short time of period, what happened in Afghanistan, we have seen like the situations in the Afghanistan, and it is required to work together. I am sure that this will give us opportunity to work together to create peace in this region and to find out some solutions which can improve the situation in Afghanistan and in all region. I wish all the best and successful work. Thank you very much for the attention. Respected Mr. Ajit Doval and dear participants of the meeting, first of all, let me express my gratitude to the Indian side for this dialogue. As we know that the format of this meeting has been developed from the recent developments in Afghanistan. Today, Afghanistan is having a very difficult situation, and we have to find some possible solutions to make peace in that particular region, and so that we can have peace in this region. And in related to Afghanistan, it is required to collect together, gather together to restore peace in this region as well as in the world. We are ready to work together with all the countries for security and for infrastructure, for other related projects, and for the Turkmenistan. Afghanistan. Today, these representatives from various countries to establish the peace in the countries. We are sure that today we will get fruitful result and methods and ways to find out how to improve the relations with Afghanistan. Thank you very much for your attention.
For all our viewers tuning into Beyond World is One right now, the highly crucial regional security dialogue on the security crisis in Afghanistan is underway in New Delhi. India is hosting the third edition of the Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on all matters related to Afghanistan, nearly 2 months after the Taliban took control of Kabul. We just heard different neighbors speak on the matter, different Central Asian countries, along with representatives from Russia and Iran as well. Now, all of the leaders flag serious terrorism and security concerns that are rising in Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover, the migration crisis, the need for a more inclusive government in Afghanistan, enhancing security dialogue with the new government. And of course, the crisis in Afghanistan gains special importance as of now, especially in the winter months, as the people of Afghanistan are now battling a shortage of essential supplies. Many representatives also flag concerns of human trafficking, especially for those nations that share a border with Afghanistan. Once again, these NSA-level talks are being chaired by Indian National Security Advisor Ajit Doval, who opened the talks by insisting that there was a need for multilateralism and enhancing security dialogue with neighbors on matters related to Afghanistan. Ajit Doval started by saying that he's confident that the deliberations will contribute to help the people of Afghanistan. He insisted that this is a time for close consultations, greater cooperation and interaction among the regional countries. India's NSA said that he's confident that these deliberations will be productive, useful and will contribute to help the people of Afghanistan and enhance collective security in the region. Once again, India is hosting the third edition of the Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan 2 months after the Taliban took control. A very important point to note that Pakistan and China have opted out of this crucial meeting. And of course, the representatives of the Taliban government are not invited for these talks because New Delhi has not legitimized the Taliban government as of now. Several Central Asian neighbors spoke about the crisis in Afghanistan, the concerns of terrorism, security, human trafficking, drug trafficking and several other problems that are arising, the migration crisis also. Leaders pointed out that a humanitarian crisis is underway in Afghanistan, especially in the winter months, as the people of Afghanistan battle a huge shortage of essential supplies. The meeting is being hosted by India's NSA, Ajit Doval, who focused on the need for cooperation between regional partners to have a more stable Afghanistan going forward. The humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan is what dominating talks between the national security advisors of India and, of course, the counterparts in Central Asia. There were several concerns regarding the Taliban government not doing enough to stockpile essential food supplies, especially in winter months. Sources say that both Tajikistan and Uzbekistan have expressed concerns over the sharp increase in terrorist threats, which is what the representatives also flagged as a major concern for the neighbors right now. Countries that share a land border with Afghanistan have also raised concerns regarding human trafficking, drug trafficking, as well as a migration crisis. The focus of this security meet is to, of course, promote peace, security and stability in the region. We will, of course, continue to track all the outcomes of that high-level NSA meet that is underway in the Indian capital as of now. Beyond World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.